Churchill Downs at sunrise with the anticipation of a two-day celebration where the jockeys ready themselves and the best thoroughbreds in the world come together. 172 of them competing for 15 world championships. A day and a half as they fight hard to conquer the crown. Now the last four races set to reveal the next group of winners as we take it into nighttime in the Classic. They are born to run. Their destiny will soon be upon them. For the owners, the trainers, the jockeys, this the place they dream of being, under those twin spires for the Breeders' Cup. And we welcome you to just a glorious day here in Louisville. It is the 28th Breeders' Cup World Championships.
You're going to race against each other. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? You're going to win? To me, if you're going to have dreams, why not dream the biggest dream possible?
There have always been dreams in the dirt for Mike Rapoli, from the shores of immigrant America to the turf of the racetrack. The son of parents who left Italy in 1966, Rapoli grew up in Queens, New York. His father, a waiter, his mother, a seamstress. He taught them to speak English, balance their checkbooks, and snuck a few dollars to go to Aqueduct Racetrack, a teenager already seduced by the calculus of long shots.
I fell in love with the animals, you know, the horses running down the stretch at 45 miles an hour, but I also fell in love with handicapping. It was an amazing thinking exercise because there's so many variables that go into racing. Speed bias, distance, cutbacks, drop downs, trainers, jockeys. I don't recommend it for any high school curriculum, but you know, for me, it was really a great exercise, and it's really helped me in business today. Hey, Steve, it's on.
Rapoli has backed up hunches with hard work his entire life.
Call me back. Bye.
In 1999, at 30 years old, he and a partner took a bottled water company with $100,000 in sales and built it into the business empire behind Smart Water and Vitamin Water. 8 years later, in 2007, he sold that company to Coca-Cola for more than $4 billion. His newest venture is Pirate Brands, makers of alternative snacks under the name Pirate's Booty.
Hey, Daniel. In business, it's 80% business plan and 20% luck. In horse racing, it's the other way around. It's 20% business plan and 80% luck.
Rapoli poured some of his success back into his old passion.
You win the Classic? You gonna win the Classic? Bye.
In the past 4 years, he's bought more than 60 horses, but 2 stand apart.
This is an overwhelming performance by Uncle Mo.
Uncle Mo enters the Breeders' Cup Classic as the favorite.
The Travers goes to Stay Thirsty.
And Stay Thirsty, with a win at the Travers this past August, is also a threat.
Stay Thirsty and Uncle Mo are family, and they've brought so much joy to my entire family, friends, that 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, they're always going to be part of my life.
When the horses run, it's a family affair for Rapoli, as are most events in his life. His parents, grandmother, brother, cousins, nieces, nephews, and friends travel with him to all the big races, but they hardly need a post call to gather. For most, this meal would qualify as an annual feast. At Rapoli's house on Long Island, it's a normal Sunday dinner for 31.
It's not just about winning and losing, just being there together as a family. We've already won. You know, this is the real winner circle right here. Without them, I would be nothing. I wouldn't be here. What my grandmother and my mother and father have done for me, I can never repay. And watching it through their eyes is a lot better than watching it through my eyes. So obviously next time we'll be together, we'll be in Kentucky. So let's thank Uncle Mo and Stay Thirsty for another great opportunity to get to Kentucky. Uncle Mo, Stay Thirsty. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Cheers.
The Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Dakota Phone returned more than $77, winning this race by a thrilling head last year.
Now, this is the race. When I sat there and hosted the draw on Monday, I looked at the field when all was said and done, and I said, wow, is this field loaded?
a ton of talent in this race, and the horse that most people really didn't expect to be the favorite right now, it's the number 5 Wilburn, who's coming off a big effort last time out at Parks Racing in Philadelphia. He's a shorter price than the Factor, than Shackelford, shorter price than Trap Shot and Caleb's Posse. Good field.
One of the reasons the Factor from the inside is such a high price is inside speed is probably not the best thing in the world at Churchill Downs here today.
Yeah, and I'm here with Dale Romans, who was just telling Bob Baffert to get out of his shot. Let's talk Shackelford. We don't care about the Factor. He's already proven himself at classic distances. So why the decision to go in this race, the mile, instead of the classic?
Well, you know, when you're a 3-year-old, you have to run those classic distances, and this is our first opportunity to drop back to 1 turn. He ran well here last year going 1 turn, and we think he'll like it.
Okay, well, wish you good luck, Dale. Thanks.
Trevor Denman with the call, the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Trevor.
So it is, Joe, those top 2 in the wagering, Trap Shot and Wilburn. More than $700,000 wagered on the pair, and there's just a few $1,000s separating them. So you could just about call them joint favorites. The last one coming in now is Trap Shot. All set now for the mile. Gate goes, and away they go to a perfect start. They all broke in one line. From the inside, the Factor is setting off for the early lead. Shackelford is right there with him. Up alongside of those two now comes Tapazar in the 3rd position. Irrefutable's the grey tucking in right behind them. Alongside of that is Jersey Town, who's keen to go on. He has the gold cap. Down at the rail, Wilburn is now making headways, only 4 lengths off the leaders. Trap Shot in the red cap on the far side. Then there's a gap at 3 back to Caleb's Posse, and last of all is the long shot Trey Borrachos. They head towards the half-mile foal, and the Factor's got it all his own way out here. He's striding along on a loose rein. The Factor in front. Shackelford is tracking in from 2nd. Tapazar's on the outside of that pair. Jersey Town is traveling nicely right behind the leaders, and Wilburn going to go through on the inside. Trap Shot is right there in 6. He was in a little tight there, Trap Shot. He dropped back. He's now 4.5 off the leaders. Irrefutable is under a ride. Got to do better. Caleb's Posse's a good 9 off the leaders, and Trey Borrachos last. They are coming to the top of the lane now. The Factor on the inside, and Shackelford. Riders riding Shackelford confidently. Just took a good look back, and the big white face of Shackelford kicks for home. The Factor can't go with him. Jersey Town's coming after them. Tapazar's running a huge one. Trap Shot and Caleb's Posse. Here comes Caleb's Posse in the pink cap on the grandstand side. He looks like he's just jumped in at the quarter pole, and Caleb's Posse strides right on by, and he's going to romp in the dirt mile. It's Caleb's Posse striding home to win 3.5 lengths. Shackelford was 2nd, but no one was going to beat Caleb's Posse today. Big run as Trey Borrachos comes from last to finish 3rd.
Oklahoma's Donnie K. Van Hemel, the trainer of Caleb's Posse, and we talked to Rajiv before the race. That was a sensational win.
The same horse that took down Uncle Mo in his return does it again in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile here. Rajiv called it. Let him settle early. Now he's 3 for 3 on the horse. It looks like they better not split this team up.
What a great effort by Caleb's Posse. That's his running style. He lays back and mows them all down through the lane. What a kick he has.
He only had 1 horse beaten down the backside and around the turn here. Martin Garcia on the lead on the Factor was well off the fence, pointing out Rajiv's sight that the inside was probably not the best place to be. So he's in about the 3 or the 4 path right here, just like he said he would be. Angles out as he makes his run through the stretch, and boy, does this horse come hard, making up about 7 or 8 lengths from the top of the stretch. Right here, he's just now getting into rhythm. Rajiv smacks him a couple times left-handed. And I don't think he ever had a doubt from the 8th pole home that he was not going to win this race.
Shackelford drifting out just a little bit. Shades of the Kentucky Derby. Shackelford turned for home with the lead in the Kentucky Derby, going 1 1/4 miles and faded to 4th. And this time Shackelford made a nice move at the top of the lane.
And now
hang on.
Making his way over to our set here is the winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, Caleb's Posse. Rajiv, congratulations. Tell us about it.
It was great. My horse held nice and finished well.
How does your first Breeders' Cup win feel?
Feels like excitement and a bit of relief.
Well, you're perfect for this horse. What is it about you and this horse that works so well?
I just think the horse just gives me a big kick every time, and I don't know, it's an amazing horse. It's really big acceleration.
Great job. Thanks for joining us.
Congratulations to Rajiv, Maragh. Jerry, you've been saying for a few years now, we talk about, you know, guys like you and Gary Stevens moved on, Pat Day. The next generation of good jocks for the next 10, 15, 20 years, you think he's one of them?
I do. In 06, I was at the Belmont Stakes, producing the Belmont Stakes, and his agent, Rajiv, his agent came up to me and said, would you mind helping Rajiv out? I said, sure, no problem. He came to my house in Saratoga. Every week we went over films and videos. He said, help me get better. So he's so teachable, he's so learned, and he's really taken everything that he's learned and put it to work.
You must be so proud of him. Janine.
I'm here with Donnie Von Hemel. He is speechless right now after watching Caleb's Posse. I'm telling you, coming around the turn, you saw he was moving. What's going through your mind?
Well, you can see he's starting to pick up some momentum, and when he swung to the outside, he was coming, and halfway down the stretch, it looked like we had dead aim on the leader, and the last 16th, we just got to celebrate. So.
Prior to this race, his claim to fame was probably the fact that he had beaten Uncle Mo. But you had a decision coming into here, the Breeders' Cup, whether to run in this race or the sprint. What turned you in this direction?
Well, good question. It was kind of 6-1, half a dozen the other, and we just thought this was the best spot for us, and thank goodness he got there.
And in one word, what's this like?
No, the best, the best. 2 words.
Congratulations, Donnie. Katen?
Janine, I spoke to Jesus Castanon aboard Shackelford. He said, boy, up until the top of the stretch, he felt he had a lot of horse and was really feeling good. Said he had to work a little harder in the beginning of the race to stay up on the pace, but was where he wanted to be. And all in all, he was really pleased with the horse and the race he ran. Just got beat by a faster horse today. Janine?
Yeah, I talked to John Velasquez, the rider of Trap Shot, after the race, and he said that trouble that he got into wasn't really as bad as it looked. He said that there were a lot of horses that were kind of in the same spot, and he wanted to get out of there at that point. So it wasn't as though somebody came over on him. It was his desire to remove himself from that situation and then try and get out and make a run from there.
That was an exciting finish as Caleb's Posse just burst in that final furlong to the line to bring it home in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Let's look at the prices and the return of what was a well-balanced field, and we saw co-favorites, and Caleb's Posse brings back $15.60 on top. Shackelford, the Preakness winner, followed by Trace Barachos for an 8-2-4 try of $2,220.
That's right, Joe, and there was no question who would be taking home the hardware after the Dirt Mile. The Posse is here, and I'd like to introduce who's joining us in the winner's circle for this Dirt Mile. We have Antonio Villaraigosa. He is the mayor of Los Angeles. He will be taking the torch back to LA for the Breeders' Cup next year. And Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher has also joined us, and thanks for ordering up a picture-perfect day.
We love having the Breeders' Cup here in Louisville. We do a great job. We got a great Kentucky-bred horse winning the race today, Caleb's Posse. Everett, I want to say congratulations on a job well done.
Congratulations to Everett and his partner, of course, Don McNeil, who could not be with us. Everett, I know there was some debate about what race to run this horse in. How much discussion did you guys have about which race he should go in?
Only every day. We talked at length about it, and we really felt like there was no wrong answer. We felt like if he got a chance to run his race, he would. We felt like the mile would give him a little extra time to get his momentum going, and that hopefully that's exactly what we saw. So we're just thrilled to death.
A special moment, but Don McNeil is not here. He's a little bit under the weather. He has some health issues, but I understand you're the one responsible for keeping him in the horse business when he was ready to get out. What is that like for you?
Well, Don's taking care of his own health back in San Diego right now. I don't know that I was responsible. I did have a little influence. I said, you know, this is what dreams are made of. This is why we've done this for so many years. And he's my dear friend, and he'll be all right.
An emotional moment. Congratulations to all. Joe?
Means a lot to them, doesn't it? Just before the Classic today, we're going to see the biggest single star of these World Championships. It is the French mare Goldikova, and there's so much that goes into having a world-class thoroughbred, including money. And in the case of Goldikova, searching back to the roots of her owner's wealth leads you on a journey that crosses paths with a famous brand name icon from yesteryear. Jeremy Schaap has the story.
She is a distaff superstar, the pride of French racing, a uniquely gifted female in a sport typically dominated by males.
Goldikova is coming home like an express train down the center.
It's fitting, then, that Goldikova's owners, the brothers Alain and Gerard Wertheimer, also own Chanel, a company bearing the name of a famously strong, willful, and talented woman, the legendary Coco Chanel. But if Coco had had her way, the Wertheimers would not now control the company, and Goldikova might never have existed. Chanel is one of the best-known brands in the world, and it was Coco Chanel's vision that inspired the fashion and perfumes that are still so coveted. But Chanel's gifts were creative, not fiscal. That was the domain of Pierre and Paul Wertheimer, the company's other co-founders who helped Chanel go global in the 1920s.
They provided the financing to take the Chanel No. 5 perfume and build it up into a worldwide franchise. And she sold 90% of her company, retaining 10%.
Chanel felt fairly soon after the initial deal that it was a bad bargain, a bad deal. It was a fairly standard business deal, actually. That was the beginning of the relationship, but that was also the beginning of the problems.
Chanel soon had seller's remorse and tried unsuccessfully to wrestle back the company from the Wertheimers. But in 1940, the circumstances changed when France was overrun by Hitler's Germany. Chanel tried to take advantage of the Wertheimers' diminished and precarious position as Jews in occupied France.
German law provided that Jews couldn't own property. And that was applied in France. Since the Wertheimers had a Jewish family, she worked to try to get her business back using the German laws.
She loved nothing better than a fight. But Pierre Wertheimer was always, as was his brother, they were always determined that Chanel was not going to get the better of them.
The Wertheimers fled Paris in 1940 and moved to New York. To prevent the company they'd left behind from falling into Coco Chanel's hands, they transferred ownership to a German proxy. When the war ended, the Wertheimers returned to France, re-established control, and later purchased the remaining 10% of the company from Chanel.
They battled with one another. They loved and hated each other. And in a sense, you could call Pierre her beloved enemy. It was a many-layered, nuanced relationship.
In the post-war years, the Wertheimers built Chanel into a retailing powerhouse, from which have flowed the resources that built their formidable stable and made it possible for them to breed and mold their great female champion.
Goldikova, a true champion!
The Emirates Airline Breeders' Cup Turf. Tickenham set the Churchill Downs course record, winning this $3 million race in 1994.
So it is the $3 million Emirates Airline Breeders' Cup Turf. And Serafina is the favorite at 2-1. As you see Serafina there, Breeders' Cup Challenge, winning your in horse with Christophe Lemaire as the jockey. This is the second richest race in North America.
A race that is typically dominated by the Europeans, as you see Sea Moon there, along with Midday and Wait the Dawn, all Europeans. This year looks like it will be no exception because on paper, the European horses tower over a rather weak American turf division.
I predict they will go 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race. Joseph, you ride St. Nicholas Abbey in the Breeders' Cup Turf here, but this is your first time riding a Breeders' Cup race. First of all, how have you found America since you've gotten here?
Yeah, obviously it's very different, I suppose. The track work in the morning and between everything is very different, but I'm enjoying him. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, well, you've got such a famous father over there, Aidan O'Brien. How is it riding for your dad? I know I rode for a lot of trainers that I was just friends with, and sometimes it's difficult, but so how is it riding for not only such a famous guy, but your dad?
Obviously there's pressure and there's plenty of different things, but I suppose when you can just do your best and try and get the horses to run as well as possible, that's all you can do.
Well, word is you're one of the sharpest guys around the barn. You know, in fact, maybe you prop some of the training. How do you see the race setting up, and how do you assess your chances on St. Nicholas Abbey?
I think he's a good chance as any. He handles good ground. Hopefully, think it's dried out a bit since yesterday, so that'll be in his favour. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of pace in it, but I'll let him leave the stalls and see what happens after that. Okay, well, Joseph, I was kind of tall for a jockey over here, and you're fairly tall. You're a growing young man. How long do you plan to stay as a rider? I'll ride as long as I can, as long as my weight stays in and around the 9 stone mark. I'll see how it goes from there. Obviously, I'm not going to kill myself to ride horses every day, but I'll do my best to keep it under control. All right, well, you're a brilliant young man. Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the turf. Thanks very much, Jerry.
What a nice young man Joseph O'Brien is. Although, Randy, I think you and I may have pari-mutuel tickets in our wallet older than Joseph O'Brien. Taking a look at him there.
If he wins, he'll be the youngest jockey in Breeders' Cup history to win a race. He referenced 9 stone in American weight. That's 126 pounds, and he's 5'11". He's quite tall.
Yeah, you'll see as he comes out. He's almost 6 feet tall. So yeah, he might go to the jumps, which you can be taller and heavier. But yeah, I think ultimately he'll be a trainer.
Let's bring in our European racing expert, Nick Luck. Nick, I don't know if someday you're going to have young Clementine Florence Marguerite Luck up in the irons, but there's Joseph O'Brien ready to go. Let's bring in our European racing expert, Nick Luck. Nick, I don't know if someday you're going to have young Clementine Florence Marguerite Luck up in the irons, but there's Joseph O'Brien ready to go.
Joseph O'Brien, Joe, is a young man of cool temperament and real assurance in the saddle, and has earned rave reviews from some of his senior colleagues in England in recent days for his rides on Roderick O'Connor in the Irish Guineas. That was a classic, and on Camelot in the Racing Post Trophy, a Group 1 on a 2-year-old. And I think what is underappreciated is the integral part he is now playing in the training of these horses, helping his father decide who rides which horse in the morning, chalking up the worksheet and reporting on all the important Group 1 high-quality bloodstock that Ballydoyle houses. This is a man that is to be trusted on a Group or Grade 1 horse. Look how tall this jockey is. He is 5'11" and growing all the time. He may not have too many more chances because his weight is getting the better of him.
Last year, in a performance that defined the thoroughbred, the great mare Goldikova, losing ground on the turn for home in the turf mile, dug down for all she had at Churchill Downs and swept to an unprecedented 3rd straight Breeders' Cup victory.
Goldikova, a true champion!
It was an historic day here last year, ending with Zenyatta's heroic but failed charge to catch blame in the Classic. And it came in a setting made for moments such as these.
Zenyatta ran her heart out!
In the twin-spired shadows, thrown across a track where the making of history has forever been as natural as the mixing of a mint julep. Churchill was where Triple Crown champions began their hunt for immortality. From War Admiral to Count Fleet to Secretariat. Lying on the western outskirts of the Bluegrass, it grew naturally into a major venue for the Breeders' Cup, where undefeated Personal Ensign ran down winning colors to take the distaff in '88, where Arazi came flying around the final bend to take the Juvenile of '91, and where now Goldikova seeks to make history never before made with a 4th consecutive Breeders' Cup triumph.
Beautiful day here in Louisville as we work our way towards the Emirates Airline Breeders' Cup Turf, a $3 million race, a bigger purse than any of the Triple Crown races, second only to the $5 million Classic that we will see later today. Serafina is the favorite at 2-1, ridden by Christophe Lemaire. Seamoon, who the Hammer likes, Hank Goldberg likes Seamoon, 3-1.
5 Europeans in the field. They are the top 5 betting choices right now.
There is Aidan O'Brien giving the final instructions to both Julien Leperoux on the right and his son, the 5'11" Joseph O'Brien, on the left. Nick.
Joined by Lord Teddy Grimthorpe, racing manager to Prince Khaled Abdullah, who has 2 runners, Seamoon and Midday, who herself won the filly and mare turf 2 years ago. Teddy, first Midday, why against the boys this year?
Henry was absolutely adamant that this was the race for her.
Is this the Henry Cecil, the trainer?
Yeah, the Henry Cecil, the trainer, was very adamant. We discussed it, and he said he really wanted to go for the turf. She didn't have a very satisfactory time here last year in the filly and mare turf. Bit of slow pace, bumped around, but so he wanted to give her the chance. We know she's won 2 Grade 1s over a 1.5 miles, so we know she stays. So he was very keen to come to this race.
Why is Sea Moon here? He's pretty inexperienced. Do you think he can repeat his York triumph from earlier in the season?
He's certainly going to have to step up too. That was a Grade 2. Didn't have the greatest run of the race in the St. Leger, but he's got to be progressive. He's stepping up now.
Teddy, thank you very much indeed.
Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Affirmed, Spectacular Bid, Lookin' at Lucky. Since the Eclipse Award began in 1971, only 5 males have managed to win divisional honors at both 2 and 3. A 5-time Grade 1 winner by Smart Strike, bred on a similar cross to Distorted Humor. Lookin' at Lucky. History in the making.
The mighty Curlin. You thought his achievements were astounding. 2 times Horse of the Year. You were riveted to his strength, power, dominance. At 3, he was a classic winner and then added a breathtaking Breeders' Cup victory. At 4, he traveled the world for you to take the Dubai World Cup. And then he came home to win 3 more Grade 1s. The mighty Curlin, your future.
No need to wait any longer for the $3 million Emirates Airline Breeders' Cup turf as they will. It is Midday at 5-1, and let's see how the mare goes into the gate. Here's Trevor Denman with the call.
All set now for the Emirates Airline turf. Field sent on their 1.5 mile journey. Quickest into stride is Dean's Kitten along the inside, but they're all lining up for the lead here. There goes Await the Dawn now, and Await the Dawn is the new leader. On the far side, Midday in the pink cap is going up a joint second. Brilliant Speed and Teeks North are in there as well. Here's St. Nicholas Abbey down at the rail. Now they're slowing it right down up front. St. Nicholas Abbey just 2.5 off them. Then back to the filly Serafina. She's pretty keen to go on. She's taken a strong hold in the green colours. Only 4.5 off the leaders. No pace on up there at all. Stately Victor is taken back to be second last, and that'll leave Sea Moon as the trailer. 8 lengths would cover the lot. So they come to the stop of the stretch, first time round in the Emirates Airline turf. And out on the lead is Await the Dawn, in front by just over a length. Dean's Kitten is tracking from second. Midday in the pink cap moving up alongside of that. On the outside we have Brilliant Speed in the red cap. Only 2 lengths separates these first 4. Dean's Kitten now going to turn the pressure on a little. St. Nicholas Abbey's in a perfect spot in 5th, just 3 lengths off the leaders. Serafina a little more relaxed, but still pretty keen to go on in the green. She's no more than 3.5 off the leader. Teeks North is scraping the rail on the inside. They've been followed then by Sea Moon, who's second last, and Stately Victor trails. 6 lengths would cover the lot. Onto the backstretch they go, and it is still Await the Dawn, and Julian Laperoux just in front now as Dean's Kitten is putting a little pressure on them. On the far side we have Brilliant Speed in 3rd. Inside of that comes Midday just loping along in 4th. Now Serafina in the green between runners, 2 lengths off the leaders. Then it's St. Nicholas Abbey. On the inside, Tweaks North. On the far side of those two comes Sea Moon, only 3.5 off the leaders, and still the trailer Stately Victor.
They're going to have to turn this one into a sprint for home now. It is still Await the Dawn, the leader. Let's see who's the first to make a move. Here comes Brilliant Speed now. Brilliant Speed on the outside. Dean's Kitten between them. Seraphina's traveling nicely right behind them, and Sea Moon crying out for who? Sea Moon hooks to the grandstand side with a white face. Here comes Sea Moon now, but got first runners Brilliant Speed. Brilliant Speed down the centre. St. Nicholas Abbey with a late run. Seraphina could not quicken with him, is trying to come on late, but it's St. Nicholas Abbey. St. Nicholas Abbey, history in the making. St. Nicholas Abbey, Joey O'Brien for his father, Aidan O'Brien. History is made. St. Nicholas Abbey wins. Second will be Sea Moon, third will be Brilliant Speed, and Seraphina had to settle for fourth on the afternoon.
It's Father's Day at the Breeders' Cup. Can you believe that? 18-year-old Joseph O'Brien given the mount by his father, Aidan O'Brien, the world-class trainer, and he delivers him a Breeders' Cup championship.
Aidan, plenty of big wins for you, but this one's got to feel a little bit different. What's this moment like for you, having your son on board?
Very, very special, very special. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
This is multitasking here, guys. He's texting and talking at the same time.
Yeah.
What do you think of your boy's ride?
No, wonderful ride. Incredible. What can I say? He's amazing rider.
What are you texting right now?
I'm just going to ring my mum. So just going to say well done to her. So brilliant, yeah.
That's more important.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to the whole family. Well done.
And I'm with Aidan O'Brien's wife, Joseph O'Brien's mother. Congratulations. You're crying. What kind of a moment for you?
Oh my God, it's incredible. I'm so excited. He gave it a super ride, and the race worked out really well for him, so it's wonderful. So it's fantastic.
How nerve-wracking is it for you to watch your 18-year-old son compete in something like this?
My heart was going 100 miles an hour. I could hardly stand up. I was so nervous. Thank God it worked out so well, and it's just fantastic to be here and have the opportunity to run in such great races. So we're really pleased to be here, and thank God it worked out so well.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Leaving the gate, but let's pick it up as he's tucked in, and before they turn for home, he's got a perfect trip, 6 or 7 lengths off the lead, saving ground, not dead on the rail, but still saving ground, leaving himself a way out. So what does he do? He deftly goes over heels, angles the horse to the outside. The race is pretty much won from here. The horse is going to take it from here with his encouragement. It's the subtle things before that he did to win the race. Leaving the gate, asking for a little bit of run in order to create some more speed in the race, and then easily taking back and putting himself in a position midway through the race. It set all of this up. So let's talk to him.
Coming to the set is St. Nicholas Abbey with Joseph O'Brien at 18 years old. Congratulations, Joseph. You are the youngest jockey to ever win a Breeders' Cup race. How's it feel?
It's a dream come true.
Joseph, did you feel any butterflies going around there once you're in the rhythm of the race?
I was very happy with my position. My horse was moving very well and going easy, and he picked up where it matters.
Did you worry? I mean, there's a cluster of horses in front of you, not a great pace, but a decent pace. Did you wonder if you were going to find room?
They went a nice pace. I suppose I had to be patient and wait for the gaps to come, and when I got out at the bottom of the straight, he picked up very good.
All right, what's it feel like winning for your dad?
It's I've been coming to the Breeders' Cup since I was very small. I was watching the races, and to be actually riding here and to ride the winners, it's out of this world.
Go give him a hug.
Congratulations, Joseph. They're still buzzing here at Churchill Downs after the victory in the turf by St. Nicholas Abbey, and the youngest jockey to ever win a Breeders' Cup race, 18-year-old Joseph O'Brien stealing the show. Let's have Sports Vision help out Jerry to show how this race was won.
Well, we're going to see St. Nicholas Abbey arrowed there right behind Sea Moon, Juvenile horse. And I had reference to Joseph. Were you worried at any point that you wouldn't be able to get out? He said, no, not really. And he wasn't. I mean, he just angled it out, clear run. Now, you don't have that much left in the race at this point, but what an acceleration. The amount of horse he saved early, the ground he saved early, all comes and pays dividends right here with the amount of kick that this horse in the last 200 yards.
I've been coming to the Breeders' Cup since I was a kid. Jerry wanted to say you're still a kid.
Which, Jerry, begs the question, give us some perspective among the jockey colony to see an 18-year-old win. I mean, there's guys in that jocks room deep into their 30s, heading towards 40 that never even sniff something like this.
No, you're very right. But we, as a jockey, I sit in the room
where, Joe, there are scenes of unfettered jubilation after victory for St Nicholas Abbey and Joseph O'Brien in the Emirates Airline Breeders' Cup Turf 2011. From the sponsors, Emirates Airline, I'm joined by Andreas Migatz, who is the Emirates Sales Manager, Central United States of America, to present the prize. You can see, Andrea, it is mayhem in here. You're about to make a lot of people very happy.
On behalf of Emirates and 44,000 people, employees worldwide, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Once again, here in the winner's circle, we're joined by Derek Smith, who is the spokesman for the Coolmore organization today. Derek, you've had great triumphs around the world with so many horses. Where would you put this one? I've never seen such scenes.
Way up there, way up there. And everything about it, we've always had faith in the horse, and he paid it back to us in lorry loads today. That's fantastic for us. And to see Joseph there, and, you know, it's just a day from the gods.
It seemed that you all wanted to embrace the Ballydoyle family, in a sense.
Well, exactly. I mean, it just means so much to them. They put so much work into everything, and Joe's had a great time of it this year, a classic winner, and now a Breeders' Cup winner. It's just unbelievable for us.
We mustn't forget the horse, St Nicholas Abbey, was a champion juvenile off the track, of course, for most of last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he showed all his brilliance today. We always knew it was there, but anyway, it just happened.
Derek, many congratulations. Best of luck with So You Think, of course, in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Joe, could this day just get better and better for the Coolmore team?
Yeah, keep in mind that Aidan O'Brien will saddle So You Think in the Breeders' Cup Classic, a much talked about import here to the U.S. Has never hit dirt before, and we will see if it's just one of those special magical days for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore.
The Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This was the first ever Breeders' Cup race, run at the start of the championship at Hollywood Park in 1984.
And I think it's required as a broadcaster, Randy, that when you broadcast the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile and you're at Churchill Downs, you must use the line, well, who knows, maybe we're seeing some horses in the Kentucky Derby next year. These are the best two-year-olds out there hitting to the same track that their connections hope they will be on come the first Saturday of May 2012.
Maybe we're seeing another Street Sense.
He's the only one.
Juvenile.
He's the only one that did it, though, Randy.
Then went on to win the Kentucky Derby. And there, as you get a look at the field, is your favorite. The 10 Union Rag, so impressive, winning the Champagne Stakes last time out. Currently at 6-5 in a 13-horse field.
Joining me down here in the winner's circle for the presentation of the Ascension Jet Perfect Trip 2011, the owner of Union Rags, the winner of this award. Delighted to welcome Phyllis Wyeth, and the presenter from Ascension Jet, our sponsors of this award, the Vice President Sales, Chris Clare. A very special award, Chris.
It sure is. On behalf of everybody at Ascension Jet, a company that's truly dedicated to providing perfect trips, congratulations on a wonderful win for you and Union Rags. The perfect trip.
And Ms. Wyeth, Union Rags, a wonderful story. You bought the horse back, and he's already done you proud.
Absolutely. It was my dream come true. I mean, I always had kept fillies, but I had a dream and said, you got to get this horse back.
How does it feel to be here on Breeders' Cup Day with a big shout?
Well, I couldn't believe seeing world champions from my little farm to have this horse come. I broke into tears getting out of the car.
Ms. Wyeth, congratulations on this award. Let's hope you have another one to join it later on this afternoon. The Ascension Jet Perfect Trip.
Michael, we're here at Churchill Downs, the site of your greatest victory in the Kentucky Derby. You're here with an undefeated colt. It's hard not to make comparisons between Union Rags and Barbaro. Is that worth making at this point in his career?
Well, there is similarities. I mean, he's coming into the race undefeated, and at this time last year, Barbaro had only won one race, and this is a pretty big jump at this point, but I think this is a pretty nice colt.
One thing that he's trying to do today, though, that he hasn't done yet is go 2 turns. How confident are you that that's within his scope today?
I don't think that is a problem at all, because he has such a good disposition, and we always thought when the distances got longer, he would be better.
All right, well, best of luck here, Michael. Thank you.
That's also won the Ladies Classic in 2006 with Round Pond after winning the Derby. some Union Rags fans for the undefeated Colts by Dixie Union. Dixie Union stands at Lane's End, and Union Rags has the E-Cube that you'll see in this post parade with the speed figure, highest speed figure last time out. Yep, the youngins are being let loose. The 2-year-olds, the juvenile, and the current odds, as has been the case all week long, the unbeaten Union Rags is getting all of the attention. Number 10, 6-5. Javier Castellano is the jock. The veteran trainer, Michael Matz, puts forth Union Rags.
So again, Joe, just 2 left to load now for the Grey Goose Juvenile Division. Fort Loudon coming forward, and then Optimizer to the outside gate. Fort Loudon goes forward. Still the hot favorite out here is Union Rags. Even money as they load Optimizer. Runners very well behaved. They're standing real quiet. Optimizer's up to the gate. He's just hesitating this last bit. Coming up now, though, he's half in. He's in. Optimizer's in. All set for the Grey Goose Juvenile. Now getting a little restless is Alpha in the gate. The rider is off Alpha. Settle down, though. Looks like he's coming to remount inside the gate. He sure is. Garrett Gomez getting back up on Alpha. All set. And away they go. Fort Loudon broke well, but so did the Grey Hansen, and Hansen likes to be in front. He will be. Creative Cause is right there. Spite City is showing good speed as well. Fort Loudon now caught wide. Alpha is going up just behind them. They couldn't be going any quicker for this distance. Down at the rail, Take Charge Indy in the white colors. On the far side, Union Rags. Let's see. Union Rags is 7th. He has to go wide too, and he's about 6 lengths off the leaders. Right behind him comes Prospective. They are then being followed by Daddy Longlegs, who can't go at this pace. Inside of him is Optimizer. Drill is taken far back today. Drill is 3rd last, a good 11 off the leaders. Inside of that comes Crusade. And Kent is almost taken. Doulahan last. Doulahan 15 off the lead. They run to the half-mile pole, and Hansen in front, but only just today. Hasn't got that massive lead. Hansen by just over a length. Spite City is tracking from the 2nd position. And let's see, Union Rags has had to go wide throughout, but he's been sent early now. There goes Union Rags. Gold Cap on the far side. Creative Cause has had the better trip, though, and Creative Cause is now taking 2nd. Union Rags 4 wide. In behind that, Fort Loudon. Then Take Charge Indy and Optimizers behind that. Doulahan's far, far back. Top of the lane, and it's all hands on deck for Hansen now. He has to dig deep and find more, but he is. Creative Cause now. Here's Union Rags, and look at him stride out in the center of the track. And Union Rags went wide throughout, but he's coming. Creative Cause. Hansen is running an absolutely huge one on the inside. Hansen just keeps on going. Union Rags is shifting to the outside. Creative Cause is 3rd. Hansen keeps going. Union Rags, Hansen, and Union Rags, Hansen. The more they asked, the more he gave, and Hansen, what a thriller. Hansen to Union Rags, a little unlucky. He shifted ground. Creative Cause was right there in 3rd, ran a huge one, and Take Charge Indy finished up 4th.
The magnificent Grey Hansen, who they said he leaves the gate like his tail's on fire. It was on fire the whole way.
You know, this is a case where the horse that won probably wasn't the best horse in the race.
True.
Number 10, Union Rags, was caught wide on the first turn, was forced wide down the backside, and especially wide on the far turn and turning for home. He was struggling. He kind of drifted out, did Union Rags through the stretch, and makes one final lunge at the wire at Hansen with Ramon Dominguez, but I think it came up just a little bit short.
Hansen had won his 2 previous races in wire-to-wire fashion at Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky on synthetic polytrack. He would open up an 8 or 10 length lead, and horses just don't win like that on synthetic racing on a regular basis. That's when you knew he would be better on dirt than on synthetics, and Ramon Dominguez did a good job with him here. Now, This horse at 1.25 miles, when you're talking about the Kentucky Derby next year, I mean, he's a game horse and everything, but that running style will work to his disadvantage.
Caton is with Javier Castellano, who was on Union Rags.
Javier, tell me about your trip.
Unfortunately, you know, the way he unfolded the race, I had to be wide in the 2-turn and try to cover up, and didn't have the opportunity to cover up. The way he's come out of the race, I had to deal with that. But here on Hugh, very happy with the performance he did, and hopefully I got luck today this time.
Thank you, Javier.
Meanwhile, Ramon Dominguez is here on the set with Hansen. Congratulations, Ramon. Tell us about that trip.
What about the trip?
Well, it was pretty self-explanatory, easy, it was in front. A little high strong one to the first turn, relaxed rate for me on the backside, and kept on coming down the lane.
Well, you've had such expectations for the weekend. Does it feel good to finally just get one?
It certainly feels good, and I think the last push of motivation that I got it from the owners when I got to the paddock, and I realized that they had a party of 60 people, so I said, oh boy, I had to win this one.
Very good. Any chance this horse could stretch that speed out?
Jerry, he continued to relax, and that would be the key for him. I don't see why not.
Congratulations, Ramon.
Thanks very much.
Good job.
Congratulations to Ramon Dominguez pulling off the upset here in the $2 million Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He said, yeah, he goes, this was my motivation. Look at that party down there in the winner's circle.
I'm here with winning trainer Mike Maker and his family, and he just walked up to me and said, what a thrill. Gosh, you know, you can train a horse for fitness, but can you train a horse to have that kind of determination and grit?
Nope, he's a natural. I mean, really, really strong horse.
Now, you could have ridden him in the juvenile turf because this horse has never run on dirt. How long did you bat that idea around?
Never considered it. We pointed to the Breeders' Cup before he ever ran, so that's how.
Before he had ever run. Why?
You're going to hear the story from the owner. I'll let him tell it.
He must be pretty special.
Oh, yes, very.
Right here on your home track, you're a Kentucky guy.
Can't get any better.
Congratulations, Mike.
Mike Maker, the trainer of Hansen.
The owner, Kendall Hansen, of course, he named the horse as his namesake, is a doctor in northern Kentucky who says he paid for his first year of medical school by betting on the horses.
Yeah, he was a handicapper back in the day, a horse player. Says he's been following the game for over 30 years and playing along, and then decided to get into ownership. And the eponymous 2-year-old colt here takes the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Well, what you described up at Saratoga that happened at Union Rags and then came back to play today, that day they blamed the tote board distracting them up at Saratoga. The tote board is distracting nobody right now if you have a winning ticket on Hansen at $16.20 on top of Union Rags. Overwhelming favorite, bringing back an exact of over $46. And they are going to be partying in the winner's circle with this group. The Doc, who was a handicapper and a horse player, Kendall Hansen, and Harvey Diamond, his partner, as they ready themselves for the presentation of the Breeders' Cup Trophy.
Taste of the World Party got things going Thursday night in Louisville. This was not a potluck, bring your own casserole kind of event. The world-class chef Bobby Flay was there to make it all fancy, though he wasn't exactly wearing an apron. He's a big delegator. The racing impresario Peter Rotunda was there to bother actress and horse lover Bo Derek, and the trainer Scooter Dickey made it out. Flat out couldn't attend, though he did show up for the post party, the winner's circle party, where food didn't matter quite as much. The theme here, dance poorly. But the greater theme at both parties and all week in Louisville is celebrate. Another Breeders' Cup is underway.
Of helping out with cancer research and supporting the V Foundation. Boy, this thing is really heating up here this afternoon. We saw the thrill in the turf with the youngest jockey ever, and then we just saw the hottest 2-year-old ever upset by the folks who own Hansen as they are celebrating. High fives, hugs, and even going so far as kissing the winner's circle grounds. What a moment. Look at this. Dr. Hansen saying, I have arrived, kissing the winner's circle at Churchill Downs.
And with me is Swati Vias, the brand manager for Grey Goose Vodka, to present the trophy to a very happy winner's circle down here, Joe.
On behalf of Grey Goose, the world's best tasting vodka,
Congratulations on your spectacular victory.
And Dr. Hansen, your trainer Mike Maker was telling me the other day that the reason this horse got his name is you've always wanted to name a horse after yourself, and he told you this is the one, this is a superstar.
No, it's named after my family, and I'm so glad they're all here. And when I looked up to see if the name was available, I saw it last time it was used, 1978, last Triple Crown. So I hope a lot of you fell in love with Hansen today, and I hope we can have a nice 3-year-old campaign too.
Are you hoping to kiss the ground here in the winner's circle 6 months from now?
Yeah, I will do it again, guaranteed.
All right, congratulations to everyone here. Joe?
Congratulations to that group. Hansen, the winner of the Grey Goose Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We're getting set for, I'd call it our co-main event, but she is a heavyweight champion of the Breeders' Cup. That is the 6-year-old bay mare Goldikova, as she tries to become the first 4-time Breeders' Cup winner.
The TVG Breeders' Cup Mile. Goldikova is the only horse in the history of the event to win 3 Breeders' Cup races.
So the time has arrived for Goldikova, the TVG Breeders' Cup Mile. And before Goldikova, the last 4 winners of this race were American-based and raced, but she has just dominated this thing. A look at the full field and the current odds of those who will be stepping up to the plate to try to knock out Goldikova. It includes Gio Ponte, one of our American champions, American race champions, at 6-1. You see Courageous Cat and Gio Ponte were both Breeders' Cup Challenge winners.
And they were both second to Goldikova in recent runnings of this Breeders' Cup Mile.
As was Byword in his career. Byword, who is European-based. And there's Sydney's Candy. But it's all about the leading lady, the 6-year-old Goldikova. Her career in this race, it's a no-hitter, Randy.
2008, she beat Kip DeVille. She pulled the double in 2009 out at Santa Anita to beat Courageous Cat, who she'll see again today. Last year, she became the first horse ever to win 3 Breeders' Cup races. Zenyatta had a chance to win 3 and failed. And now the unthinkable, the possibility of 4 in a row.
Well, good horses win races, but great horses win races. Patrick.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Good. You have a horse that ran a credible race up in Canada last time, but my belief is he's a little better at 2 turns than he is 1 turn. But he's a speedy sort. Where do you put him early in the race today?
Well, no matter where he's going to be, Jerry, I'm going to try to get him to relax and have something left for the stretch. It is a soft turf today, and you got to have some horse coming through the stretch. I see that gets stormy, and Sydney's Candy have a lot of speed, and my horse is very rateable, so if I have to, I'll try to lay 3rd and just relax him the best I can and get him to finish, run by him at the head lane and open up.
Can you resist the temptation to look over your shoulder and peek where Goldikova is throughout this race?
I'm not going to worry about Goldikova. I know I've got a great turf horse. He's, to me, the best turf horse in the country as far as a mile, and he's run some incredible races this year, and I just look forward to him redeeming himself as a top horse in the country.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck, Pat.
Thank you, Jerry.
Good luck. After I do 3 years, you suspect me? I take a fall protecting how many people? 3 years! I'm tapped out. Where is your money? Come on! You don't know how special you are, do you? How you can run, who your daddy was, how they killed him.
I would describe Goldikova's success as remarkable. For her to win 3 Breeders' Cups, let alone go for 4.
I mean, it's an incredible feat.
I've never seen it before.
It's very amazing now. A very amazing horse. It's a lot of fun to watch. Incredible mare.
Goldikova, a true champion. 3 Breeders' Cup wins.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable that any horse could be going for 4 in a row, and this filly to travel back from France, back to America again. It's just pretty incredible. She's a very special filly.
I think she's just phenomenal filly. I mean, she is just a phenomenal horse. Forget filly. She's awesome.
She is whatever she wants to be. She is a little of everything mixed up. So 3 Breeders' Cup wins. Goldikova, a true champion. She's got the world in her fingertips.
She is the star of the show, is what she is. A year after Zenyatta tried to make history and came up just short in the Breeders' Cup Classic, now this 6-year-old mare goes after history here. A 4-time Breeders' Cup winner is what Goldikova wants to be. 6-5 for Goldikova. Freddie Head is the trainer, the only person to ride and train a Breeders' Cup winner. Let's check in with Nick. We'll get to Nick in just a moment as we continue to look here at the current odds in the mile. Gio Ponte remains the second choice at 5-1. To low. Jerry, your final thoughts.
Speed comes from Sydney's Kennedy right there, number 10, and Get Stormy. Look for Goldikova where she settles in the middle part of the race.
Trevor, moments like this don't come along often. History on the line with Goldikova.
Magical, magical moment. And of course, we're always non-biased, but in races like this, you are a little biased towards the champion, just as we were last year. This year, we are with Goldikova. If she can pull it off, 4 straight Breeders' Cup wins, that would be fantastic. Tourallure comes in, all set for the TVG mile. Wheels sent on their way in that TVG mile, and Goldikova broke beautifully. She obviously doesn't want to go for the lead, though. She leaves that to Get Stormy, who strides up alongside of Geronimo. Goldikova's right there at the rail, though, only 2 lengths off the leaders. On the outside, Sydney's Candy's right with them as well. Compliance Officer is caught wide into the turn. Mr. Commons is right in there. Courageous Cat is going right up alongside of Goldikova. Strong Suit is racing back 5 off them with By Word. Here's Gio Ponte, about 2.5 lengths behind Goldikova and traveling nicely at the rail. Then we come back to Zoffany, who's back 3rd last, been followed then by Court Vision and Tourallure, as usual, far back early. Tourallure, those only 8 lengths off the leaders. So they tightly bunched as they have a half-mile left to run. Get Stormy on the inside. Geronimo is right there. Sydney's Candy on the far side. Compliance Offer Extreme outside. Then it's Courageous Cat. Let's see. Here's Goldikova tucked in beautifully. She's poised to pounce if she can find room. Goldikova, white sleeves at the rail, 2 lengths off them. Then Mr. Commons, By Word behind that. Gio Ponte patiently ridden. Gio Ponte just needs somewhere to run. Tourallure last. At the top of the lane, can Goldikova find somewhere to run? White Cap right behind the leaders. Geronimo, Sydney's Candy. Goldikova's hooking out. Goldikova's hooking out, and here she comes now. Tourallure, the grey on the extreme outside. Goldikova, Tourallure, Court Vision's running a huge one. Gio Ponte late. It's Goldikova in the race of her life. Tourallure, Court Vision. Court Vision going to outrun her. Tourallure on the outside. Oh, they hit it together. Too close to call. Court Vision, Tourallure an inch in it. Goldikova, what a magnificent run. She almost got there, but Goldikova finished up 3rd in a valiant effort, and Gio Ponte once again right behind Goldikova in 4th.
Cat rather than Patrick Valenzuela.
These 2 are 39-1 and 64-1. Tourallure the gray is the 39-1 shot. That's too close to call. What do you think?
Boy, oh boy, I think it may have been inside. I think it may be Court Vision. You watch the nose on the inside horse. Court Vision here as Tourallure was surging on the outside, but watch the head bob and the nose of the inside horse, the 9.
Wow.
So close.
That is a thrilling finish in what was a wild stretch run in the mile. Goldikova defeated here. Her chance for history, it goes by in her last race.
She obviously has lost a step, and it's almost a good thing that she didn't hit the finish line first, because imagine what the stewards would be faced right now with having to take her number down.
We knew this was coming, and it says, objection, please hold all tickets. So the stewards are going to have to do some little CSI right now on this race.
And it's an objection with the asterisk on the toe board next to the #1, Goldikova, the one that that unfortunately caused the interference there on the stretch.
Well, and that is the look. We have a camera up there in the stewards room as they will be looking through various angles here of the mile, but it was clear as day that Goldikova came off the hedge and into about the 3-path. And now we are joined by Robbie Alvarado, who was the horse on the inside 9, who is being placed up top at 64 to 1.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Your
Appreciate
third
it,
Breeders' Cup win.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
This horse has never won a race on this turf course. Many tries.
I've ridden him a couple times. He's gotten beat, but today was his day.
Well, what was the difference between last time he ran against Goldikova last year and this one?
Well, I just think a lot of things. You know, he's been training here. You know, Dale Romans has him now, and Mr. B. Wayne Hughes just purchased him. So, great effort. I'm proud of Mr. B. Wayne. He's put a lot of money in his business, and he deserves this. But Court Vision's been doing so good lately, and old man, he does his job, and that's it.
64 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he exceeded the expectations of everyone in the crowd.
Were you aware where Goldikova was trapped in behind horses?
Last year I followed her, and this year she was a little further in front of me, so I couldn't really tell where she was, but I didn't want to take a chance today, so I swooped around everything. After the incident early in 5/8 of a mile race, I swooped him out, he took off, and he held him up.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Robbie. That is Robbie Alvarado, the jockey on Court Vision, as the stewards are looking over the objection. But this is the photo, and
wow,
you do see that nose on the inside of Court Vision just in front of Tour Allure. Meanwhile, let's go back and look at the ride of Goldikova, Jerry.
You can see her with the one on the right shoulder of Olivier Pellier. He's already pushed out now. Just before that, we're going to get back to that and show you. But he had to force his way out to the right to get running room in order for her to even have a chance to win. But you can see here, she's kind of a little bit more flat than she used to be and just can't hold off Pellier and Court Vision.
I'm standing here just chatting with Olivier Pellier. He's talking me through the race. Olivier, turning for home, tell us what happened.
She's coming the last race. I have no place, I have not really the place to go. I just wait a little bit. Then the horse is moving on the outside, and I move with him. That then have a good acceleration, and then you just continue.
Did somebody yell behind you?
But he helped for when we start. He bumped me and he pushed me on the rail. That is all the way. You know, when he scream, after you know, when he start to scream and he scream until the end, for you is like a normal.
A normal race. Last time you get to sit on the great Goldikova.
Yeah.
For you today.
I'm very you know, disappointed in the emotion because the filly now is finished, and now we go to the stable. And but I hope for next time the ride the baby.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for all the thrills that you and Goldikova have given us.
Meanwhile, the stewards are trying to figure out where to place Goldikova, I assume, Randy.
When there is a disqualification, the rules of racing say you have to place the offender behind the horse that she interfered with. In this case, Goldikova interfered with not just Courageous Cat. There was a bit of a chain reaction to the outside of Courageous Cat as well.
But I mean, a lot of stuff was happening, a lot of moving parts here, but I think Courageous Cat almost pulled up, so I believe he was last, so she would have to be placed behind him.
Oh, this is just, you know, a stunning development here. The fact that Goldikova lost, the fact that they're seeing where they're going to place her after the objection, the fact that we have a 64 to 1 winner here in Court Vision, which once we see these prices go official, that will be the second biggest payoff in the history of the Breeders' Cup. 28 races, 28 years, all these races. This is going to be second only to R. Kong, who Jerry Bailey won in 1993 in the Classic that paid $269. This will be the second biggest payoff on a $2 winning ticket, Court Vision. Welcome back to Churchill Downs, where they are still buzzing after the TVG Breeders' Cup Mile, where the great Goldikova has been defeated. Look at that crowd in the grandstand working our way over towards the clubhouse. They waited to hear what the stewards would say. We had a photo finish that needed to be decided, and then, Jerry, they also had to decide what to do with Goldikova after the objection.
Well, it's hard for me to imagine that this filly, as great as she is, wasn't disqualified. After over 30,000 trips around this racetrack, I'm telling you, she fouled Courageous Cat. I mean, I'm a fan of hers, and I don't want to see her disqualified, but she impeded another horse, more than one horse.
Stewart's coming down on the side of international relations, I think.
They kept her third. The photo finish was between Turlour on the outside and just on the inside. Look at that nose of Court Vision and Robbie Alvarado. So, as I told you before the break, when this thing would go official and you saw the prices, your jaw would drop. This is the second largest payout in the 28-year history of the Breeders' Cup. That's what happens when an overwhelming favorite takes the money, loses, and then a long shot comes in. Court Vision, 131.60 on top of Turlour. The trifecta with Goldikova holding on to that third spot, almost 10 grand. The exacta, $1,979 for the winner's circle presentation. Let them start celebrating.
TVG Breeders' Cup Mile 2011 has been won by Court Vision, a pari mutual shocker for owner B. Wayne Hughes, who joins me second to my right. To my immediate right is Patricia Waitecraft, Mr. Hughes' partner, and to my left is Stephen Byrne, the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Television Gaming Network, TVG. Stephen.
Nick, we say a fond farewell and au revoir to a great champion in Goldikova and congratulate a new champion in Court Vision. Well done, many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Hughes and Patricia are going to take the Breeders' Cup statue. A wonderful moment for both of you, and you only purchased this horse in August, Mr. Hughes, to stand at your Spendthrift farm.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now we have to thank Dale Romans, who did an unbelievable job in the short time he had the horse, and Robbie, who I can't say enough about. So yeah, he'll go to he's actually going to Canada, where all the good stallions are on their way to.
And Patricia, perhaps you're best placed to tell us what this will mean to Wayne, and when you get home this evening, you've got time to reflect on it.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be partying late to the night.
Fantastic. Many congratulations to you both. Best of luck with him as a stallion. Court Vision, the new TVG Breeders' Cup Mile champion. Joe?
What a stunner. Court Vision. You see Robbie Alvarado right there, and what a year for Robbie Alvarado. The disappointment he had on the other big day of racing here at Churchill Downs, when he thought perhaps he was going to have the mount on Animal Kingdom, but it went the other way. He lost the mount that week. It was injured. Johnny Velasquez goes on to win the Kentucky Derby, and then he gets this moment back here under the Twin Spires.
The highs and the lows of thoroughbred racing.
And he's
experienced them all.
One of the all-time highs for Alvarado, as it was a stunning victory. Obviously, he's had the greatest success you can have on this stage, including the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is the last race.
The Breeders' Cup Classic at $5 million. The Classic is the richest horse race in North America.
It all started with Wild Again at Hollywood Park and Pat Day back in 1984. Last year it was Blame winning perhaps the most thrilling classic ever, when the whole country was watching to see if Zenyatta could remain undefeated. And this year it is a good-looking field that includes Flat Out now at 7-2, who won a Breeders' Cup Challenge race to get into this classic. So You Think is the import, who's been well-traveled, and that includes Aidan O'Brien, who's already had himself a big day. Game On Dude and Chantel Sutherland, one of our major storylines, a female jockey. She looks to make history, and a lot of attention to the filly, Havre de Grace, as well as Uncle Mo and his comeback story that continues. And aerial coverage today is brought to you by Emirates Airline. Good look at the track that they will be going 1.25 miles on, the classic distance, home to the Kentucky Derby, and now for the second straight year.
Scooter, you said it took 70 years to get a horse like this and make this walk. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, he's walking good. I'm feeling pretty good.
You've been talking all week about how good the horse is trained over the track. Little different conditions today. Any concerns about that or the inside post?
No, I think the track's really going to be pretty good right now, and I think he'll take to it. I think he'll like it.
What instructions will you give to Alex?
We've talked about it, and Alec's been watching the races, and we'll probably kind of talk it over in the paddock. He'll give his points what he thinks, and we'll decide then.
And finally, what's it feel like to know how many people are cheering for you right now?
Huh?
What's it feel like to know these people are cheering for you right now?
That feels good.
May be as speechless after the race. We wish you good luck, Scooter.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the jock, Alex Solis. Alex, what are you thinking in these moments just before a Breeders' Cup Classic?
We're just going over the race again, and just hopefully the speed develop, and hope we get a good trip.
Alex, you won this race. You won the Classic in 2003 on Pleasantly Perfect. So you're no stranger to this moment. But you are nearer the end of your career than you were then. How does that make you feel, you know, taking it all in? You know, a lot of guys might not ever get this chance again. How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm very grateful to God and to Mr. Preston and Scooter Dicker. They give me a chance on this horse, and I'm just flattered this stage of my career and doing something that I love and you know, being riding these kind of races and kind of horse.
Okay, so pertinent to the race. What is the most important aspect of this race for your horse? What's critical to you?
Well, obviously, it's like I said, you know, hopefully we get a good pace in front of us and have a good trip. If that doesn't develop either way, and then I just, you know, you run many races after that, if Plan A or B doesn't turn out like you want it to, you just got to improvise.
Okay.
And that's where my experience come in handy.
Well, you certainly have enough of it. Good luck, Alex. Thanks for joining us.
Alex.
A few days before the 2008 Kentucky Derby, this was trainer Larry Jones.
Okay, baby.
Riding the magnificent filly 8 Bells.
Hey, Larry, the 8 Bells, pull up anytime. There you go. There you go, sweetheart.
On Derby Day, in the stretch, she tried to catch favored Big Brown.
It is Big Brown by 5 on the winner. The filly 8 Bells was second.
We watched her gallop out and start around the turn, and then we started going down to pick her up. And I was maybe one of the very last to know what had happened.
What came next was a tableau of horror. Pulling up, 8 Bells had shattered her front ankles. As doctors arrived, her agony was unmistakable.
And then I saw the sheet up, and you know, I knew it was a disaster.
It was absolutely like losing one of your children. You could not have felt worse in any kind of way.
The only way we could get back to the barns, you know, we were going to have to walk, so we took the reverse walk. Most people walk over with the horse. We had to walk back, and you know, it was very emotional.
The pain was augmented by nationwide outrage and fierce accusations. But 8 Bells would test negative for steroids and banned substances.
We got a lot of hate mail. Everybody thinking that we were abusing the horse, that all kinds of bad things, misconception of maybe what we had done and what we didn't do.
Close your eyes and tell me what your favorite image of her is.
Probably the last gallop, and I'll remember that forever. She was special.
In 2009, stressed from overwork and health issues, Larry Jones shocked the sport by announcing his retirement. 12 months of time off brought a full recovery and a request from Rick Porter to train another filly, Havre de Grace. So back he came.
She said, "You need a big kiss?" That close enough? This, to me, is the first time I have ever had a horse that I consider a perfect horse. She likes attention. She doesn't demand attention. She's special. She'll be the most special horse I've ever been around or will ever be around, I'm sure. She's just a once-in-a-lifetime horse.
Once again, it was a filly against the fellas, this time with a new ending. Havre de Grace's big win in the Woodward set her up for the Classic back at Churchill Downs.
We know there's some good boys out there, but I don't want to trade horses with anybody.
Time to go to work. Time to go to work. Here we go.
This isn't a job for me. This is a labor of love. This is something that you would do for free if you didn't need money to get by in this world.
No playing, I mean it. Nope, nope, nope. Be good.
Racetrack life has always been a morning watch. A place that rises in the dark before the sun. A world that comes alive at 5 a.m. when grooms slip from their rooms into the lighted stalls and greet their horses with a word, a nod, pitchforks in hand, beginning their ancient rituals. Mucking out the soil beds of straw, pitching hay and filling water buckets, rubbing copper coats with rag and comb. In this peculiar place, just as the sun comes up, that horse and man call home.
Flat out won the Jockey Club Gold Cup last time out by 2 1/4 lengths. He won the Suburban earlier this summer, both those races at Belmont Park. There was some question about whether maybe Belmont was his favorite track, but he's been training exceptionally well here at Churchill Downs, and that's put an end to some of those thoughts.
And the 3 is Drosselmeyer. The name comes from the Nutcracker. He was the long shot winner of the 2010 Belmont Stakes, but since that Triple Crown season, he's been searching for his groove. May have found it a bit in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. He ran second there. Mike Smith was on Zenyatta a year ago in this post parade, and he returns for a seat on Drosselmeyer.
Number 4, Ruler on Ice. That's Garrett Gomez in the pink silks of George and Lori Hall. This horse won the Belmont Stakes in June at odds of 24 3/4 to 1. Right now, 16 to 1. The price on Ruler on Ice.
The 5 is So You Think. First time on dirt, New Zealand bred, who Nick Luck told us was the it horse in Australia. Then he made his way to Europe. Now he takes a shot here in the U.S. debut in the Classic.
Number 6, Icebox, was second here at Churchill Downs at 1 1/4 in the Kentucky Derby of 2010. Some thought he should have won that race. He was unlucky to lose. He hasn't been back to Churchill Downs since then, but now he returns, coming off 6th and 7th place finishes. Come on, man.
Rattlesnake Bridge, gray colt trained by Karen McLaughlin, and 3-time Derby winner Calvin Burrell has the mount on Rattlesnake Bridge.
There's your look at Chantel Sutherland aboard Game On Dude, the expected pace setter. Bob Baffert says the way he explains it with his front runners, it's like a pitcher that throws 100 miles an hour. If you ask him to throw a curveball, they may throw it in the grandstand. This horse has one way to go, and that's to the lead.
Stay Thirsty is the 9. He loved his summer up at Saratoga. He took both the Jim Dandy and the Travers at the spot. Todd Pletcher looking for a win here in the Classic. Javier Castellano did that back in 2004 on Go Zapper.
Number 10, Havre de Grace. The mare Zenyatta won the Classic in 2009. She just failed in 2010. Could a filly, this 4-year-old filly, now make it Ladies' Day again here at Churchill Downs?
Well, we've had some big long shots so far in this Breeders' Cup, and here's one. The 11 is Headache. Ken and Sarah Ramsey own Headache. He's trying to be a headache for those going after the favorites. He has 3 wins in his last 4 starts, but the one time he stepped up was a 5th in the Whitney.
Number 12, Uncle Mo, maybe the most brilliant horse in the race, but can he handle a fast-paced 1 1/4? And can he do it when his preparation has been compromised by that liver disease that he had earlier this year? Those are the big questions, but right now he is at 5 to 1 on the board, 3rd choice.
And there is To Honor and Serve. The 13 won the Pennsylvania Derby by 2 1/4 lengths. Was a thought to be Derby horse. in May before an injury shelved them. Owned by Charlotte Weber, trained by Bill Mott, and ridden by Jose Lescano. The lights are on for the big one here at Churchill Downs. What a scene it is. Second year in a row we have seen this. Kaiten Bradar is our reporter on horseback. Kate.
Joe, it's appropriate when the stars of the Breeders' Cup Classic stepped onto the track, the lights became more visible. They've been on for a while, but it's suddenly dark enough that you can really see the shadows on the track. The horses, though, uncompromised by it, didn't seem to notice at all, and they didn't seem to react much to the crowd cheering as they went by. It's warm up and business as usual. Chantel Sutherland on Game On Dude has her game face on. She was just petting her horse, trying to keep him calm, but all on business. Joe?
Biggest moment of her career, trying to be the first female to ever win the Classic.
Joe, I feel like I've been with the mayor of Louisville. You've shaken more hands up here since anybody running for office.
I got a lot of friends here, a lot of friends.
What are you feeling right now? I mean, this has been a long road for you to get to this point.
I'm ready for him to get in the gate and let's go. I'm ready.
Spoken like a true horseman. Good luck, Scooter.
All right, thank you.
His barn was reduced to just one single horse in recent years, and then he was given an opportunity for that horse. Flat Out. Flat Out is now 7-2 as Bob Baffert looks on. Bob Baffert has Game On Dude. Chantel Sutherland has the mount on Game On Dude. And Larry Jones, you see him just to the left there in the cowboy hat with Havre de Grace. And even further down, Aidan O'Brien, who had what a moment he had earlier today on this Breeders' Cup when his son won the turf, his 18-year-old son, and we'll see if So You Think can deliver.
Game On Dude, Uncle Mo, number 12, and Honor and Serve. If that materializes, if that front-end speed duel materializes, Uncle Mo, I don't think can stay around for the fight at the end. So You Think I'd probably be 4 or 5 lengths off stalking, along with Havre de Grace. Flat Out, probably about 7 or 8 lengths back, because the pace will be quick.
And it has not been a day that has been in any way biased towards speed. So we'll see. We'll get a good look at the fractions. 46 and change for a half mile is probably a pretty realistic expectation here.
46-4 to 47-2. I think that's what they'll go the first half mile in.
Will it be the filly, Havre de Grace? Will it be the 70-year-old trainer, Scooter Dickey? Will it be history with a female jockey in Chantel Sutherland? Or will Mike Rapoli's comeback with Uncle Mo and the other one, Stay Thirsty, be the ultimate American dream for the son of Italian immigrants? Let's find out in the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic. With the call, here's Trevor Denman.
Thanks one final time, Joe. The last few left to load now for the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic. On the outside, Uncle Mo has just gone in to Honor and Serve to come to the outside gate, and we'll all be set for the big one of the afternoon. Here comes to Honor and Serve to the outside gate. He goes in, gate closed, they're all set. There's the roar from the crowd. They're on their way. The $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic. Game On Dude got a flyer. But on the outside, Uncle Mo's right up alongside. So Game On Dude and Uncle Mo go on to lead them early. On the extreme outside to Honor and Serve is right there. Stay Thirsty's tucking in right behind them. So You Think got a beautiful spot down on the inside. He's keen to go on. He's pulling hard as So You Think. A length and a half off the leaders. Then we cut back to Headache. Now here's Havre de Grace. Havre de Grace is racing back in 7th, but only 4 lengths off the leaders. The pace very honest early. Then we drop back to Flat Out, who's racing at the back of the leading group. Another gap of 4 back to Drosselmeyer, Ruler on Ice, and Icebox. The last 2, they're 11 off the leaders. On to the backstretch they go in the Classic, and Game On Dude at a strong pace. In the second position is Uncle Mo. And on the inside, we have So You Think, a close-up 3rd. The far side to Honor and Serve is in 4th. Stay Thirsty 5th, only 4 lengths off the leaders. Then Havre de Grace, Headache alongside of her. Flat Out is racing back in the 8th spot, 7 off the leaders. Then Drosselmeyer, Ruler on Ice behind that. And last by a long, long way is Rattlesnake Bridge. Rattlesnake Bridge is last. Into the turn they go. Game On Dude taken on by Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo goes looking for the lead to Honor and Serve, makes it 3 in a line.
Game On Dude battles back at the rail. Uncle Mo's right there on the far side to honor and serve. So You Think crying out for room. So You Think could be dangerous. Can he get through? He's in the 4th spot. Have Raider Grace making her run on the outside. Homeward bound in the classic. Game On Dude. So You Think gets a run on the inside. Uncle Mo's right there to honor and serve in the red cap on the outside. Stay thirsty. Have Raider Grace tries to get involved late, but Game On Dude is just battling them all off. Game On Dude has the lead. Here's Drosselmeyer out of the clouds. Drosselmeyer from nowhere. And Drosselmeyer and Mike Smith have beaten Chantel Sutherland on Game On Dude. Ruler on Ice finishes 3rd, and Havre de Grace was 4th. What a finish to the classic. It looked like Game On Dude had it, but Mike Smith had other ideas, and Drosselmeyer, like a ghost on the outside in those white colors, caught Game On Dude close home. Drosselmeyer wins.
There's one major storyline we didn't touch on, and you can't believe it. Mike Smith just defeated his ex-girlfriend, Chantel Sutherland. Unbelievable. Mike Smith, a year after being beaten at the wire on the Great Zenyatta, pulls off a major upset with Drosselmeyer in the Classic.
And only one win for Drosselmeyer since Mike Smith won that Belmont. And I tell you, this horse is like a bicycle. You quit riding, he quits running. Mike Smith has to be one of the fittest jockeys in America, and this horse needs every bit of his strength. Great ride.
Look at Mike Smith. In September, trainer Bill Mott was pointing this horse for the Breeders' Cup Marathon. That's how far down this horse had slipped since winning the Belmont Stakes. But at odds of 8-1 in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, he comes flying to get second. That got Mott to think about running him in the Classic, and look at this.
Just said you did a great job, but he can't believe you got beat by Mike Smith. Did you realize it was him?
When I looked at the wire and I saw white, I said, you got to be kidding me, Mike Smith. Oh, but I'm very happy for Mike. You know, that's his 15th Breeders' Cup, so, you know, he's a pretty good rider, so to beat me, not too much. I think it's pretty good. I think Game On Dude ran an unbelievable race. Like, when Johnny came up to me, he was never going to pack it in, and he fought so hard. And Game On Dude can't really see, you know, how far Mike was out. But I tell you what, this horse will fight against anybody. I love him so much. And every time I asked for more, he gave me more.
It was a game effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
And joining us now at the set is the Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Drosselmeyer. Mike, that was the ultimate battle of the X's, but beyond that, congratulations. You just tied Jerry Bailey for the most wins in Breeders' Cup history with 15.
I really wanted that.
Sorry to make you
last year, man. This is incredible.
Sorry to make you wait, but the girls were talking back there. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Chantel said she looked out there and couldn't believe it was you coming.
Is this redemption for you from last year?
It really is, Jerry. Last year hurt, and it still hurts like anything's ever hurt me before in my life. And for this guy to come back, I only get to ride him twice, man. The Belmont and the Classic, and win them both. It's amazing. Thank the Lord, man. Thank the Lord.
I stated that this horse is like a bicycle. You quit riding, he quits running.
Jerry, that's the whole key to him. Is that once you get him in a forward position, you got to keep him moving. You check 1 second, I mean, you got to pedal all over again. So I saved ground the first turn, second turn, and once I got him moving, I just went for it. And, you know, he can run all day. He runs every bit of a mile and a half.
I always looked over you and wondered if all those weights you were lifting and all that stuff you were doing would pay off, and it certainly did. Congratulations, Mike.
We didn't love you at the end, but we got there, man.
All right.
Congratulations, Mike.
It's an honor to tie you.
What a story. What an upset. Mike Smith, a year after Zenyatta, beaten right at the wire, and standing by with the winning trainer, Bill Mott, is Jay Privman. Jay?
And Bill, you've just pulled off something that John Sheriffs did 3 years ago at Santa Anita, winning the Ladies Classic and the Classic in the same year. Describe what it feels to bring Drosselmeyer back from a horse that many thought might have been over the top.
I mean, it's an incredible thrill. I got to tell you, I mean, we ran because the horse was doing well. He was coming off his all-time best race this year. I mean, his best race last year, of course, with Belmont. We didn't, we're in taking a chance. We knew there'd be a good pace up front, and we knew he'd get the distance. I mean, he's just a horse that, he's already won the Belmont at 12 furlongs, and we knew 10 wouldn't be an issue. It's just a matter of if he could get up in time, and, hey, he did it. He's been training well. All our horses have trained well since we've been here for the last month, and, the horse and the rider did it.
So did the trainer, the winningest trainer of all time at Churchill Downs. Congratulations, Bill.
The 4-year-old Drosselmeyer won the Belmont in 2010 and then really hadn't found himself until just a month ago in the Jockey Club Gold Cup when he rallied to finish second. Look at how he pulled this off, Jerry. A thriller.
Way back early, and you know, kind of like Zenyatta, angle him to the middle of the track, which today probably is the better part of it. But he came with that patented run. Very talented horse, and you know, give Bill Mott a lot of credit too for managing this horse very, very well.
Mike Smith wearing the silks of WinStar Farm, the owners of the 2010 Kentucky Derby winner, Super Saver, the same year Drosselmeyer won the Belmont.
Bill Mott, the Hall of Fame trainer who had Cigar, now has Drosselmeyer in the Breeders' Cup Classic with Mike Smith up. The presentation when we return. Back-to-back years that the Breeders' Cup Classic here at Churchill Downs has been outrageously exciting. And another long shot comes home. This time it was Drosselmeyer with Mike Smith overtaking Chantel Sutherland and Game On Dude, who looked like it was going to go Chantel's way and she would make history. Let's go down to the winner's circle and Janine Edwards.
Well, this is quite a way to cap off a tremendous weekend of racing here at Churchill Downs with the Breeders' Cup. And joining us in the winner's circle, we have Craig Fravel, President and CEO of the Breeders' Cup. We have Tom Lute, Chairman of the Breeders' Cup. We have Jane and Steve Beshear, the Governor of the great state of Kentucky. And next to me to do the honors to present the Mont Blanc Watch, we have Jan Patrick Smith, joining us again, the North American President and CEO for Mont Blanc.
What a fantastic victory. Congratulations, a historic day. I present to you the Mont Blanc Nicolas Rieussec chronograph, invented the chronograph 190 years ago. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. How beautiful. Thank you.
Governor Beshear, tremendous day here in Kentucky. Beautiful weather, and we've got Kentucky breds and Kentuckies all around getting this Breeders' Cup Classic trophy.
You know, there's no better place to have the Breeders' Cup Championships than right here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the horse capital of the world. And we're so excited tonight that WinStar Farm is here in the winner's circle for this classic, and we've got a trainer that just won 2 classics in a row. Bill Mott won yesterday, and now he's done it again. But Drosselmeyer is a real champion, and we're so excited to present this trophy to Lisa and everybody at WinStar Farm.
So much.
Lisa, I have to say, you guys are such long-time breeders and supporters of this sport. This has just got to be a tremendous moment for everybody connected with WinStar Farm and Drosselmeyer.
It really is, and we are so beyond thankful, and I just can't tell you that we're actually a little surprised, so thankful again. But when I talked to Elliot on the phone this week, he said, "Are you ready to shock the world again?" And I was like, well, you know, I mean, it's amazing to win a race at all on Breeders' Cup Day, but to win the Classic is unbelievable. And I just want to say for Mike and for Bill, for Kenny, who could not be here again, this is for Kenny and for WinStar Farm. We are
Congratulations, and you have shocked the world. Enjoy it. Guys.
Kenny Trout, the owner of WinStar Farm. Distorted Humor sired Drosselmeyer. You see the partner farms and the victories they had today. But what a victory for Mike Smith, who last year was so emotional in defeat with Zenyatta and then comes back this year and has a thrilling stretch run to overtake Game On Dude and his ex-girlfriend Chantel Sutherland, who was looking to make history. Spectacular 2 days of the Breeders' Cup. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels, is next. South Carolina and Arkansas. For our entire crew, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for watching the Breeders' Cup.